I think it's both. There's a lack of good news coming out from last week's consensus conference in New York, which was very amazing. There were over 8,000 people, and it showed that blockchain and cryptos have arrived in mainstream. However, we or market participants expected much more good news or big news coming out of the conference, and there were not that many, unfortunately.
It's such a buzz at the moment. It's full of energy and vitality. And just a few months ago, you said actually that some of the negatives like regulation of cryptos and blockchain is actually a positive because it removes the uncertainty in the market. So what's evolved there? What is being regulated today? ICOs, tokens, blockchain, where are we?
I think regulators have not really cleared yet the way or the situation for cryptos. So there were a lot of rumors that some new regulations coming out, some new clear statements from regulators, but they're still missing. So unfortunately, we have to wait a little bit longer until we see some good news.
And we see that FINMA has sort of stepped in to some extent. What's Switzerland's role in this? We've had a lot of crypto summits here as well.
Switzerland is really, again, even after attending, or even more after attending the consensus conference last week, Switzerland is leading, the regulator in Switzerland is leading regarding the regulation. They published this ICO guideline, how to regulate, how to set up an ICO properly. But now it's up to the other governments or other regulators to follow this kind of...
So this template could be used for other governments globally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the general data protection regulations that are coming online more for the social media giants, does that affect blockchain at all or cryptocurrencies?
Yes and no. First, yes, because the blockchain is fully transparent. So you see all the history. However, with blockchain, you can issue digital identities, and then you can become your owner of your own data, which is very appealing, and then it makes kind of the GDPR as a disadvantage to an advantage compared to traditional setups.
I'm glad you mentioned the word transparent, because transparency is really the trump card for blockchain. So many companies are talking about how they're going to implement blockchain into their business models. Just yesterday, I was talking to a gemologist who says they're using blockchain to track the birthplace of the gemstone. Can you give me an example of a couple of the most unusual businesses that are trying to use blockchain?
I receive a lot of requests and proposals for investments every day. You won't believe there is a second internet, a new universe, and so on. So there are many very strange or surprising business cases out there. But there are some very good ones, especially with the gems you just mentioned. I mean, it would make it possible to track the whole life cycle of a diamond. So far, with the whole blood diamond, it was an issue, and you only relied on the issuer, so it was De Beers or someone like that. But now you can really prove with the inscripted number that it's coming from this mine, for example.
And it really doesn't matter if it's jewellery or chocolate or cotton. The consumer demands that now. They want to track back to the source, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a general trend. And we see a lot of companies going into blockchain now and really exploring it with proof of concepts. However, especially in the financial sector where I'm mostly active in, or I was, for them, a lot of things are marketing. They want to be seen as innovative, but they never move from a proof of concept to really go into production with the solution. So I think we need to wait for another year or two until we see more and more companies really rolling out and bringing it to a productive level. But I think as well, we see more and more banks going in that space because clients are asking for services in that space.
Are they not too late, though, Jan? Because they were a bit slow, weren't they, off the mark? They were sort of, oh, no, 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 no. And then all of a sudden they realised they have to jump on the wagon too. So is it not too late? Are they not too behind the curve now? Keep
in mind, those are banks. Banks are kind of a safe haven. They shouldn't be too innovative. You trust them. They have certain heritage. They need to be kind of this rock in the ocean. So I think it's good that they are not the earliest movers, but they are moving now. And I think that's a really good sign.
So they perhaps continue to market it, but not really do anything at this stage. So it's the likes of you, Jan, and the smaller boutiques that really have the opportunity to make something out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're very well positioned, and that's what we receive from our clients as well, that we are best in class currently to offer that to.
And what sort of requests are you getting? Is it more for the products or more for support on launching within the business?
Basically both. There's not that much know-how within traditional financial institutions, right? So they're asking you how they could implement blockchain or how they can offer cryptos, Bitcoin foremost, to their clients. Clients are coming to them and asking them, hey, you're selling me anything, everything. Why can you not offer me Bitcoin?
It's the expertise that's perhaps lacking.
Yes.
It's so new. There's not that much expertise around. Just speaking about the businesses, what about the larger companies, the Ubers, the Airbnbs? How are they incorporating this into their business models?
I think they are less regulated so far, so they are much more agile and much more active in the space already with some venture capital funds or some teams within the companies. Those are traditional intermediaries, and I think they will be disrupted as well.
And what about the U-turning that we're seeing? Banks being one of them a little bit, but also India. India, it seemed like at one point was going to crack down on the use of these tokens, but now is actually issuing a tax, I believe, on trading cryptocurrencies. So that's a good sign, I suppose, for investors.
Absolutely. And we have seen that in Germany as well. They issued a statement how much they will get, how much tax they will get from all the currency profits, cryptocurrency profits. It's unbelievable.
And if you take somebody like IMF Lagarde, says that blockchain cryptocurrencies really have a place in the world, maybe not everywhere, but maybe pick up on what she's thinking there. I think she's probably referring to some countries, some areas of businesses.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there I agree absolutely with Oswald Grübel, who is here as well, who mentioned like you don't need a cryptocurrency, decentralized currency in Switzerland because we have a stable central bank. But in other countries like Venezuela, Argentina, Zimbabwe and so on, where you have more than 40% inflation every year, people moved so far to the US dollar. Now they are shifting to cryptos.
You're, of course, referring to our newsmaker, Mr. Grübel, former president, former CEO, of course, Credit Suisse and UBS. And just maybe picking up on those thoughts, like you say, somewhere like Switzerland is very safe in terms of, use of currencies and banking money. But what about some of the other sort of ideas that maybe Lagarde and Mr. Grübel are sort of pointing towards? It's not sort of for every use in every which way. It's some specific countries, but it's also some specific business models.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely crucial. Blockchain is not the solution for everything, and no cryptos. So you need to look at your business model and look and get some outside consulting maybe as well, who help you out to find the best options or the best parts of the whole of your business where you can implement a blockchain.
And it almost feels like that's actually happening, that you're taking your business, you're having a look at it, and which sort of elements can you pick out and actually tap into the blockchain?
Yes, exactly.
And what started out as really a big hype on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, has sort of moved away now to blockchain, would you say, the technology behind it?
I think it was a misconception before. Before it was a hype. This was the same with the internet. And now people realized or arrived in reality. And now you see the real use cases going forward. And I think that's very interesting. Now the broad institutions, the corporates come in and really develop use cases. And it was not just this, there's only an upside and you can profit, earn a lot of money without any risk.
And how does it feel to be a part of all this, Jan? Because I was at a recent summit that you were at in Zug Valley, the crypto summit, and there was such a buzz in the air. How does it feel to be a part of all this?
It's absolutely amazing, and it was absolutely the right decision to leave UBS and start this venture. But only over time we will see if we go into the right direction. But so far, I'm still very, very proud of it.
And of course, not sort of knowing exactly what direction it's going in, but it is going in some direction. Lovely, Jan. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.